I think one thing that is very important for long-distance relationships is trying to maximize the dimensions of your partner that you are able to engage with. Mm-hmm. And what I mean with this is if you're able to video call above texting, prioritize that because it'll give you a broader view of who your partner is as a whole, more dimensions of his, and what are all those other things that you might be missing on because of the distance, and trying to engage with that as much as you can despite not being able to be part of their physical dimension.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the Verbaman. Oh, no. No, sorry.
Cut.
Yes. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the Verbamanen podcast. We are here today with, of course, again, two other special guests. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you.
I'm Julia.
Yeah. And of course, we have our new speaker, Cerny, again with us.
Hello again, guys.
Yeah, of course, I love how every time we start to show the excitement of the guests, it's always over through the roof. But anyways, today what we want to talk about is long-distance relationship, because we are here in Seoul, right? And I mean, we are lonely boys, but our guests today, they left someone back home, right? And so we want to talk about how does a long-distance relationship work, and is it hard? Is it easy? What are the advices you would like to give? So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the first thing maybe I think we should ask is how does a long distance relationship work, right? How do you set it up to begin with?
First off, give a little bit of background, girls. Like you just said, hey, I'm Julia. Hi, I'm Anna. People want to know a little bit more of you. Where you from? How old are you?
Right.
A little bit of background would be good.
All right. Julia, I'm 23 years old, just turned 23. I was about to say 22. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm here on an exchange because I do a bachelor in international business, and they want me to go on exchange, and I thought Seoul would be a really cool place to study in.
Nice.
Oh, well, my background, all right. I'm Anna. I'm from Colombia. I also came here for an exchange, just for, 1 semester, checking out a new place, and that's pretty much what I'm up to here.
Good. So, right, now we know you better.
Now the question.
Now
to the question.
Okay, so the way we make the long-distance relationship work is by putting in both equal time and effort. We text all day. So my boyfriend, he wakes up because of the...
He's in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
right?
He's in the Netherlands.
He wakes up because he's in the Netherlands.
No.
That's the only reason he wakes up.
I mean, it makes sense.
But he wakes up at my 4 p.m. and then I go to sleep and then he's done with his day. So throughout the day, we text whenever we have time. We tell each other about our day, ask each other about our day, how we're doing, what the plans are, if we have anything exciting going on. And then on Sunday nights, my Sunday night, for him it's Sunday, middle of the day, we make time every week to FaceTime for a couple of hours because throughout the week he's busy and then Sunday works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we have kind of an opposite approach on the other side, right?
Yeah,
because it's actually quite fun because a lot of the questions we're asking today, they're answering the opposite thing. So that's interesting. So how does it work for you instead?
Yeah, for me it works completely the opposite. We barely text. We're not really huge fans of texting. In the other hand, what we do is just we make sure to video call at least every day, once a day. Sometimes for 20 minutes, sometimes for 3 hours, sometimes for 6 hours. Just depends on the day, how busy we are, what we're up to. And it works perfectly for us. It keeps us connected, happy, and that's just how we do it.
So basically this means that even if you're here, the person you speak the most is still your boyfriend.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've heard about my parents, I think once in 4 months.
Wow.
No,
wow.
okay,
Wow.
no, okay,
Heard
I'm
includes
sorry.
texting and phone calling.
Yes.
Wow. I expect that you have siblings,
Outrageous.
right?
Yes.
Okay, because if not, that would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't hear my mother for so long, Interpol would be here trying to figure
exactly.
something.
If I
don't
didn't
know.
let my parents know anything for 4 months, I think they would fly here.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
come and find me.
I mean, Korean police would be looking for me for sure.
Yes.
No, it's just simple. My mom asks me, hey, how's it going? How are you? I'm good. All good. It's fine. same answer I'd give in Colombia, in Korea.
But to be fair, like,
Same thing.
You use your talking energy with your boyfriend, maybe, so that's why.
Yeah.
And so, given also this different approach, what do you think is the most important thing that you should actually do to keep the relationship alive now that you cannot see each other?
Most important thing is that you're both just committed and put in effort to stay in contact, because staying in contact over text, over video calls, or whatever, it's the only way you can stay connected. So if one of you doesn't put in the effort, stops replying, or doesn't reply for a really long time, then there's honestly nothing left. Or if someone calls off the weekly FaceTime every time, there's nothing. So you just have to put in the effort. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's like show that you actually want to do it.
Yeah.
I
Fair
totally
enough.
agree. For me, it's the same thing. I think effort is number one thing. And of course, like communication. There's one thing you can hold on to your long distance relationship is communicating with your partner. And you have to prioritize that. Even if that means maybe not going out some nights, or, just putting in effort and doing like small sacrifices, because it's all worth it at the end. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, talking about sacrifices, like you both had any day, for example, the priority of wanting to do that FaceTime, besides of going out with your newly found friends here in Korea, because you want to keep that relationship more than like going to perfect Korean plan with your friends. Like how has it happened for you? Or how are you able to say no to your friends here in exchange? Like you just literally say, no, I have to FaceTime my boyfriend. Right?
Yes.
What's the process?
We have seen it happen a lot of times.
Yeah, we
Julia.
haven't.
Like,
I know,
we know how it works.
I know what I'm asking because I know that Julia has cancelled
But
sometimes.
like, how does it work for you too?
Yeah, but we want to like know which is your approach actually.
Yeah, I mean, when you have to give up giving out with like the best people in Korea, like,
yeah.
what pushes you to do that?
I mean, it's heartbreaking when I have to cancel on you guys. No, but I think all of you guys know that on Sunday night I FaceTime my boyfriend, and I have throughout the week more than enough time to do all the fun things, with you, go out to eat, and then even we were in Jeju, and then on Sunday night you guys were just watching a movie, and I was like, okay, then I have time to call my boyfriend. And at the same time he said he was understanding, like, if you don't have time today, that's fine, we'll just do it next week, or plan during the week. We had that last week, I think, where he didn't have time on Sunday, and then we just find another moment. One wakes up earlier or stays up later. But canceling isn't an issue because it's just
you don't
Sunday
have
night.
the FOMO, the fear of missing out.
No,
right?
I do more than enough fun stuff here.
Yeah,
It's
to be
fine.
Fair, to be fair, like having an excuse to like get a bit isolated from all the inputs you get from this city,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
that
yeah.
bad as a
Yeah.
thing.
But I will also cancel sometimes just because I'm tired and I want to watch Netflix.
That's a good
like,
excuse.
It's fine. I
That's
just
a good
It's
excuse.
a good excuse.
So it's not an issue. Like
I
if
wish
there's
I had it. I
yeah.
just don't have a girlfriend.
Okay, I need to call my girlfriend.
Yeah, just sleeping in PJs.
I'm gonna make it up for the next semester, you know? I
Yes,
have a
yes.
boyfriend next semester, so I just can cancel on people.
Nice.
How does it work for you, Anna?
For me, since we like to talk every day, some days I'll be like, okay, I actually want to do something, want to go out, so I would cancel on him and then just go out with my friends, right? And do vice versa some days as well. So as long as there's like a good balance, it works just fine. Some days I'm like, hey, I just don't want to go out, I want to stay at home just talk to my boyfriend, it's cool. Some days he's like, hey, you want to talk later at night because I want to go out with my friends, and he's like, yeah, sure, totally. Same way around. He does his stuff. It's not like he's like on the computer talking to me every day, all day. No, he has a life, of course. just to be fair, be clear about that. But so it's just kind of natural for us. Hey, I'm gonna out. Okay, have fun.
So yeah, talking about like naturally and so how things have come up to be the way they are. I was wondering how much beforehand planning comes into this. So how much do you set up, how much do you agree on, and how much do you just go with the flow?
In my case, personally, I am a person who likes planning. So in my ideal world, it would be like, okay, we talk for this amount of time, these days, these things. He's like a spontaneous guy. He doesn't like planning. It's like more like go with the flow-ish. So I'm trying to let go a little bit and just go with the flow as well. And I found out that it just works perfectly.
Okay, so you like balance each other out with like...
I just pretty much was like, okay, I will try to not really plan, just go with the flow, see how it takes us, and it's been great. We just found a flow that works perfectly for us. It's almost like effortless, and we just go with it. So it's pretty easy in that sense.
Because for you, Anna, like that came from a long time ago. Like how long have you had that long distance relationship?
Yeah, we've been like talking for like 8 months or so. So it's just a long time where we just naturally came into a rhythm, into this weird sync together, and we already know how the vibe goes. We already know how we flow. We already know like our schedules.
So it was basically through trial and error, you know, talking more, talking less, and it came up naturally. You didn't like really talk about the frequency of getting in touch.
No.
It's like no written agreement or some sort.
No, so you have to sign a contract first.
Okay.
Every long they have to sign a contract. No, it was more like we just found out that we just want to talk more to each other. So we just start talking more, and we just find a rhythm that works for the both of us, and it's just very organic, very natural. And both in Colombia and in Korea, we found a different rhythm, but equally working for the both of us. So it's just been like this very natural process. It hasn't really involved a lot of planning, like, okay, we have to talk at least once a day. It hasn't been like that. It just came to be.
Mm-hmm. Also, so, like, I feel like it makes it more real, the way that like you're talking with the other person because you know the other person actually wants to talk with you that way.
Exactly. We both have like, I guess we talk a lot. You can say we talk a lot, but it's not because we have to, it's because we really want to.
Okay, great.
So it's just part of our natural flow as we go.
For us, beforehand, we just agreed on that we would have like one moment in the week where once we see how our schedules line up, that we find one.
Sorry.
Where was I going? One moment to make sure to call each other at least once a week. Obviously, before I got here, we didn't know how my schedule was gonna be, on what days I would like to go do things, how my life would be, how the time distance would work out, and also he didn't really know how his board here because he's really busy as well, how that was gonna sync up with me. So just beforehand, we only agreed to text each other a lot and then have one moment of calling, and then in the first week we already figured out like, okay, Sunday night works really well, and we stick to that. And there's like spontaneous phone calls every once in a while as well, but with regards to planning, we would just see.
Yeah, is that like the flow of how things were with your boyfriend before, like in the Netherlands? Or do you like actually live with him and then you don't have to like improvise so much to have the relationship?
No, we don't live together, but we live close. Like I live a 15-minute bike ride away from him. So
I love
very Dutch thing to say.
Bike thing.
That's how we measure things. So if we would just ask like, oh, when do you have time this week? And he would say like, oh, on Wednesday, and then we meet up on Wednesday. But also if we have nothing going on, both of us, you can just spontaneously go on your
Show
bike
up.
and go there and show up. So it's really easy.
Yeah, taking the plane it's a bit harder than
Yeah.
the bike. Yeah, but and so it's different, right? So it's a different type of relationship. I mean, maybe for you not that much because you used to like you've always been done long distance with your boyfriend, but still it's something different in some ways. Also, the important thing is that we now live at different time zones than where the people you hang out with, your boyfriends, are. So then, has that affected the relationship? So has it made it like? Do you think it's like what's the best part? What's your favorite thing about being in like the way you are now? And what's the worst thing that you think it's like about being
like,
a relationship?
Which things from the relationship you think have been strengthened, and where are you finding weaknesses in like your relationship after being long distance, or the thing that you're getting closer to the person? Like, which is your experience in that sense?
Yeah, well, in my personal experience, so the last time we saw each other was right before I came to Korea. And if you measure a timeline from that moment up to this date, I feel, and he also feels this way, that we have grown a lot during this time, and we've become more connected to each other and more emotionally involved, more emotionally invested, and just kind of in tune with one another, which has been great. We just feel more connected, we feel more in love, we feel more, fulfilled and happy in our relationship as these months have passed. And it's greatly due to the fact that we just get to communicate to each other what we feel constantly. We do like check-ins as well. Like I make sure at least once every time. Yeah, I like to do this because I enjoy talking about like feelings and thoughts. He's more like a logical kind of person. So every month when we turn like 1 month older together, I have like this check-in time. So it's like, hey, okay, how have you been so far? Like, how do you think this is going? Is there anything you would change? is there anything that I could do to make you happier? Just something that's working, but what's not working? And things like that.
Wow, that's monthly evaluation actually.
That's a monthly test. Okay, it's just okay. Let's run. Okay, how have you been feeling? Is this working for you? Is this not? It just works.
That's actually
So
really
like,
healthy. I really like that.
We
Yeah.
really do that, and we really engage in that moment of conversation. At least, like he's not like the great. Like, he doesn't express a lot of his feelings, but in that moment, we make sure that we're both like very sincere.
And it's like a
He's very
double exchange
open.
where like you talk to
Yeah.
each other and like if there is something wrong, you just talk about it.
Yeah, it's a mutual thing, and we just more like talking about problems because we don't have problems. We just reassure each other that's like, man, we're happy in this is going great. Like, I'm excited to be with you. I'm excited to be in this great relationship with someone that I like so much. So it's like a nice moment of like bonding, and it makes us also like emotionally stronger. So that has brought us a long way to where we are right now, where we're like, man, we can't wait to see each other. Because it's the first time we're going to see each other physically, that we're like so emotionally connected to each other, like so happy together. It's going to be totally different visit than when we saw each other like 4 months
Last
ago.
time. Yeah, in fact, like you were saying before also that it's like being long distance makes you aware of like what's the other person, what you're missing from the other person, because you only get it at certain times, right?
Yeah, totally. And that makes every visit like very worthy. Like we see each other about once a month or so, once a month, every 2 months. And that week or weeks we spend together, it's time is so limited and so precious that you just spend it amazingly. It's very, very, very like meaningful. Every single second you spend with your boyfriend if he lives like fucking miles away, right? So it's very nice because of that reason as well.
Wow, great. And you were saying like you're now a bit more open to each other with your boyfriend because of like long distancing.
I mean, you have to communicate more through words because you don't see each other, so you can't like have a feeling they're not feeling that great or they're feeling really happy. You have to communicate that through words. That's the only way. But I don't think it has changed as much as for her. It's just
Because
so
you
it's
you
just
have to.
sort of the same.
The level of
except
investment is like
that there's just
less because like the period of time that like you're gonna see your boyfriend.
yeah,
Julia's gonna see like
Everything's
his
gonna be
boyfriend
back.
today actually.
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's completely different case and story, and the approach is different. I like something that Anna said before starting to record, and since I know her, and she talks about the dimensions of the relationship or the person and like distance brought to you this knowledge, kind of, right?
Yeah, so basically when I think about the dimensions of the person you're dating, is basically through text you only get a very small percentage of your person. You get what comes from your head, you get maybe like what you're trying to communicate, but not even fully. There's so many other dimensions that are left from that texting experience. So when you talk, for example, through the phone, you get their dimension where you can actually hear their tone of voice, which gives you a lot of information, maybe the words they use, how they use them. Then video calling gives you a broader dimension where you can actually see their face, like how they're expressing physically with their voices and all that, so that you have a broader view. And I think one thing that is very important for long distance relationships is trying to maximize the dimensions of your partner that you are able to engage with. And what I mean with this is, if you're able to video call above texting, prioritize that, because it'll give you a broader view of who your partner is as a whole, more dimensions of his, and what are all those other things that you might be missing on because of the distance, and trying to engage with that as much as you can, despite not being able to be part of their physical dimension.
Okay, so try to get back as much dimensions as possible.
I can potentially see Meta executives now turning crazy, like, yo, long distance relationship kids, they want to have a hologram, they want to be in the metaverse to get more out of the partners.
We've talked about that.
Work about it.
It's part of it, actually. Like, we enjoy playing video games together and like online. And it's part of it. We feel like when we look at our characters like virtually, even if it's nothing similar to us, you feel more connected because it's like something.
Now I'm curious, what are the video games you should play when you're in a long distance relationship?
Okay, for us personally, we're playing this game called Raft.
Okay.
Amazing game. It's just think about like Minecraft, but with like nice graphics.
Just like the end of
not just blocks.
Not just blocks.
Minecraft
It's
without the
rounded.
mine.
It has rounded stuff. So you're basically in a little raft, which is like a little boat, is stranded in the middle of the ocean, and you have to like gather resources and just build a raft and complete missions and do stuff. and just it's like The Sims. You guys know The
Yeah,
Sims?
The Sims. I was
It's like-
thinking about
It's like
The Sims.
The Sims combined with Minecraft. It's a great game. We spent hours and hours playing that. It's fantastic.
Great,
Really,
great.
really
Wow.
Okay.
recommend it.
So
Okay.
to
It's
make
not
your
sponsored, but I really recommend it.
to make your relationship last, then
Play
Raft.
Raft, yes.
Great. Yeah, I think I always thought like Train Simulator would have been a better experience, but
It could work. It could work.
yeah, great. So this is how it changed. It changed your relationship. It changed the way you see your partner, the dimensions, which is a very interesting concept, to be fair. And what is your favorite thing about long distance? Because everybody always talks about it like as a bad thing. And I mean, in general, maybe someone wouldn't want to always be long distance with their partner, but there must be something good about it, right? What's the thing you're like? Let's go. I like long distance because of this.
I mean, you get more excited to hear from them. Like, he wakes up at my 4 p.m., so 4 p.m. is now a special time for me. I'm like, I get excited. It's 4 p.m. He's going to wake up and he will get to reply to stuff I sent him. And right now, throughout the day, if I encounter something fun or something curious, I'm like, I will immediately text it to him. That's exciting. And you look forward to seeing each other more on the FaceTime. It's more of a special experience. That makes it nice.
Yeah, for me, the two greatest things would be that first, you're building a connection which is based solely on communication for the most part. So you're just pretty much getting to know who you're dating in a very deep level, connected to them through your voice, through your words, through the communication. You can't do a lot of activities together. You can't like engage in physical touch. So creating this relationship around who you substantially are in the inside is just amazing. I think like it really gives you the chance to build this really strong like foundation for a good relationship and a good connection with other people.
So would you both agree that you value more the time you spend with your partners because of distance?
Oh, totally.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Because it's very, very like rare. It's a very sacred time. And in my personal experience as well, like when I get to see him in person, even if it's like a week or two, it's like a very, very, very like emotionally intense week. It's like fun. You get to experience all this like different emotions and do activities together. It's just like a great thing. You never take it for granted.
So it's like kind of the dream of the like too hot to handle dream where you're like deep emotional connection instead of like just body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I always wondered about this because like this way you get to learn how to communicate with the other person, which is like probably one of the biggest obstacles in many relationships. So although there are challenges, if the relationship survives this step, then I guess it's stronger after.
Yeah, for me, I think of it that way as well. It's like long distance is like this challenge, right? But if you're able to overcome that thing perfectly and everything's fine, you guys can get strong
unstoppable,
connections. Dude, what else can stop
Yeah.
you?
Because
I agree.
here, I think we have like some of the winners of long distance relationships from what we've seen on Exchange so far.
I mean, yeah, I
there's-
I don't want to bring bad luck at all.
No,
but
no,
like just to be
obviously.
fair, for now, because this exchange is not over, so we have to see it.
Come on.
No, but obviously, like, there's people who failed like 1 month later. There's some people who
cheated.
who cheated, or
I know.
who just realized that Korean people are extremely hot,
Are too
and
hot to handle.
too hot
Too
to
hot to
handle,
handle.
exactly. And they
yeah.
just submitted to Koreans or whomever like too fast, or they were not that level. They didn't have that level of engagement. And it's curious, like, to hear from what your
Yes,
your
so that is like
perspective.
another point. Temptation always exists. You can't fight the feelings of attraction, sexual attraction. You can't fight that. It's part of biology. What you can fight is what you do about it. If you decide it's totally okay until normal that you be like, oh my god, this man's so hot. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? That is okay. You engage in and deciding consciously that I'm gonna go get with him. I'm gonna, that's where you do wrong. But as long as you're able to think, okay, what do I value more? My long-term relationship with someone that I truly love, or like a hookup with a cute guy, As long as you know what is more important to you, then I think you're fine.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, I think this doesn't apply to you two, but like in general, there's also like kind of heterogeneity of arrangements to kind of overcome the sexual needs part. Like, for example, we have some friends that have like open relationships so that the other part of the relationship is like fulfilled by basically someone else, which is, again, it's like, that's actually quite controversial, I would say, because like everyone has a different opinion on this. But this doesn't apply to you two, so you don't really have much to say about
Just
it.
you want to know how to overcome like the sexual aspect? Just have phone sex. That's it. It's as simple as that.
But how do you overcome the need of like touching someone?
I mean,
how has it affected you? Because actually that's crucial in a relationship, you know,
Yeah.
having each other, touching
You
each
mentioned
other.
the bear before. I don't know.
What?
A
Oh
teddy
yeah,
bear or something?
I just bought because I missed like I
Sleeping
didn't like
with someone?
sleeping alone. I like cuddling. So I bought a gigantic. Like at first I bought a stuffed animal from the Daiso that's like this big, and then I went to Japan and I bought a gigantic Snorlax, who has now replaced the other stuffed animal, and I just hug him. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's
well,
not the same, but it's the next best alternative.
I did the exactly same thing. Just I went to Daiso. Hey, what's the biggest plush toy you have? And she said, this one. I'm taking it. So I just took it, and that's what I sleep with, and that's it.
Did this conversation happen in Korean or?
I'm wondering.
No, I use my
I
body
wanna hug
language.
someone, you know, showing.
Please, very big.
Yeah, big and you know.
And she just started hugging you, like, are you okay?
Yes, like can you please? And I just hugged the guy from Daiso, and he
Yes.
was like, I understand what you're talking about. That's exactly how it went.
Great. So now we've talked for a very long time, actually. So I think it's time to wrap up. But one last final question, which is kind of a recurring theme of this show, right? It's like, let's share our wisdom because we know so much, right? So what is the biggest, most important advice you will give to someone that wants to get into a long distance relationship?
Yeah, what's the one thing you wish you knew before?
Oh,
Wow,
I
that's
didn't really learn
Yeah.
anything.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
Because it just went well, but I would say make sure beforehand that you're on the same page, that you both want to do this long distance, that you want to continue afterwards, that you're both committed and that you find time for each other and just put in the effort. Like, just put in the effort. That's it.
I would say the exact same thing as you said, but additionally, if you're like in a long distance thing, please make sure to know that you have an end. Try to see how you can close the distance and what is the ultimate goal of long distance, making it be as short as possible and just reminding yourself that it is temporary. As long as both parties are working towards making it as temporary as possible and you guys have like that aim, then that's like a great way to start. If there's no foreseeable end, then where's the relationship going? So that's what I think.
Great. Wow. So on this very philosophical and deep emotional part, we end our episode today. So thank you very much for having
Thank you
joined
so
us.
much.
Thank you,
Of course,
guys.
as always, the episode is you can watch the episode as well on our YouTube channel, and we'll see you back next Saturday. Bye bye.
Peace.